So we've already pretty much like covered, and I wanted this whole video to be like, yeah, like in a different, like, easy to watch because I don't have the best attention span even for watching chart. If I was my own editor, which I am right now, technically, yeah, I'm like cringe. So hi, we're back again. The meat and potatoes of all of this, though, it's like I wanted, yeah. So we've already really touched on the things. That's why it's taken me so long, and it still is. I just basically, this is take number two. Um, but yeah, if anybody wants to do a counter on that, have fun. Literally though. So we've touched on basically like, yeah, how I've been doing, but at the same time, wanted to mainly just touch on the things that were going on for like, yeah, I know I got music playing too, but it really helps me to just kind of, anyway, keep the ball rolling. But yeah, in terms of it being like at the time, like how we all kind of have our own like crap we got going on in life, you know. I happen to kind of be having happened to be going through some stuff as I started working, and it was about so like we're gonna go ahead, like I would title this video to be like, like when I started working there, and just like how we all need a job in the first place, we all need to pay our bills, or got to pay rent and stuff like that. So there you go. I remember a friend at the time was like working there, so I was like, yeah, why not? It'd be easier because they can help me learn it better. And this is like first time ever working at Papa John's. No, second time, but first time I was like 17. Like I had just graduated high school. I went and applied in my Halloween costume because I don't know. I've just been raised like you gotta work hard. So like anyway, if you want a job, you better show up for it. And so that was. I'm trying to remember. Like I put in. I can't remember if like I because this was like so long ago. That's where it's a blur, and it wasn't anything bad. I think I had moved. I had moved to a different part of the state, so definitely had put in a notice or something like that. So I didn't just like yeah. It's definitely on one hand I can count of how many jobs I have just, and this is the main one. Probably the only one, honestly. If I can, anyway. But if you want to consider, like you've got a W-2 and everything like that. So anyway, yeah, that's why it's taken me so long to just get through everything until I'm starting to talk about this because I just wanted to, touch base, and then we'll get back to that later and all that good stuff. So mainly the time I was, I know my lipstick's probably looking crusty right now, but anyway, the time I started working there, I was like 20 something, yeah, and just going through stuff, grieving, not doing so well. I'm just minding my own business, and I'm still performing my job essentially. So there's nothing much more to it than that. Nothing was awry, so to speak, if you will. And this is why like this is being made right now as we speak. Like I'm just looking out the window watching the rain happen because like this whole situation. I know that's one thing I'm bad to say. Like this whole situation is so important to me personally from what I've gone through, and after from seeing how what other people have typed on the petition, it's worse than what I've gone through. So like I'm fortunate enough to even have gone through what I've gone through, but it still wasn't good at all. And anyway, so yeah, here we are. It's hard to not get lost in it when you're somebody like me It's really hard to describe, honestly. I'm still like figuring out. I'm just a very creative person. Anyway, you get it. So, from the time I started working there, yeah, I'm like 20s, and yeah, we're just making it through life. This was 2015, I believe, year wise. So like we're just setting the time, setting the tone. It was about like 2015 or something like that. I remember 2015, 2016, something ish. So nothing bad. A few years go by. Life is just going along, and I was just like, all right, let's start to step up a little bit more in terms of my game, just in general. Why not challenge myself? That's just my essence. Anything, nothing more to it than that. And I, I was like, can I be assistant general manager, whatever the shift, the manage or the position. I would like a nap, please. I'm just playing. A position that is just basically, not like part time, and I can kind of make some more money like anybody would that's working any other job and just trying to move up in the world, so to speak. And that's what I did, just like any other person would. That's why I keep saying this, because like I'm not the only one, but it's not like this happened to me, and I gotta tell you that like it's just what happened, and I want the details to be known of what happened, while all this kind of everything else collectively is going down. So anyway, a few years go by, and I was like, yeah, finally was promoted, and I did all my like okay, so like just right now, even like thinking about that, it's so casual at this store that I was working at. Probably should have started off better with that. And very casual, super casual to the point to where like uh yeah, I'm sure anybody that Papa John's has worked there can understand, but like mostly it's it almost feels like you're working for a military, like, and it's not. I don't know. Anyway, that's nothing in like that's just a legend. But anyway, just for I guess AI purposes, I don't know. But so yeah, I've been talking about this for literally like 3 hours, something straight. Anyway, few hours. So it's a little bit like draining, to say the least. We're getting to the meat potatoes. We're still getting into it. And essentially that's where I'm like just going like I'm not sure, because the aspect of that whole promotion, I don't remember really ever having like, okay, here's your training period and here you go. I'm pretty sure if that actually wasn't the case, because if that was, I'm pretty sure my first week of working as a assistant general manager, I pretty much was just kind of like babysat the entire time by dude above me, basically. That was the store manager, so I'm not, I guess, general manager, so I'll be assistant general manager. So anyway, and like training, like computer stuff, none of that. I remember like being asked that a lot, because it gets deep. Like it gets to where it's almost like a damn Stanley Kubrick film or something. It's not fun. I try to like deal with things with humor, like I said, but like anyway, this is really like where it begins. But so I'm just being, literally the term goes, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, to the point, like to the T. Literally, I'm like, why are my paychecks coming up as like this much when I've worked literally like 40 hours? It's been sending people home. I've been like, literally like people that are like old enough to be my parent. They're asking me if they can go home, and I'm like the shift manager. That's anyway what that entailed. Asking me if they can go home, And I'm sitting here like, why is my paycheck coming up so short? What gives for 2 months? We all got to start somewhere. We all got to learn. I don't care for everybody who's listening, especially. I will have no shame to admit that. It's just like looking back though. Yeah, that was me, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. Me choosing to, anyway. So that's where I'm just sitting here like I cannot believe that happened. That's why I guess anyway. So I literally was like working 40 hours. I was working. My first week was so ironic because I'm sure a lot of people can relate to it too. I was like uh, scheduled to work as opening manager, just to open, just open. Literally, you work from this hour to that hour, and you're gone, and you got at least like over 12 hours to do what you want, dilly dally, sleep, and then the other day, comes around, all that. Nah, this store said we're gonna schedule you to work, and that was fine. I didn't mind opening. I was ready for it. I wanted it. I asked for it, and somebody had called out. And I'm not quoting this like anyway. I'm just. I know. No disrespect, no disgrace upon it at all. This is just. Love, light, and positivity, and all that good stuff. Seriously, I have to try to like. Yeah. It broke my soul. It really did. And anyway, if I could try to remember what I was gonna say now, but yeah, definitely, yeah, I remember now. Sorry. Um, if you know, you know. Dang. I hope that whoever's if you're unfortunately going through something like this too, just side note, yeah, like I really, really hope you get through it as soon as possible and you get out of that situation and you get far, far, far away, free, wide, and you get your peace. I don't know what that was, but anyway, um, there's Casper. Hey, what's up? Just talking about stuff. Keep me safe, please. Um, literally, yeah, I was scheduled for a closing shift, and no, I was scheduled for an opening shift, and then someone called out that had a closing shift. So, of course, me having the time to, it was very obvious. I was not going to go out of my way, and I was definitely at that time like, nah, straight up, like I'll no filter. But yeah, this store was a little toxic to the point like I have to take into account myself. And literally, like I cannot wait to bring this up once I'm able to afford therapy again. But that's a different topic anyway, though. Like I'm good, but still practicing routines and everything like that, journaling stuff like that. But this is helping immensely too. By the way, um, literally, yeah. I was like, no, no, and there was no other person that could, I guess, work the you know how, yeah. I I was never that person that could come up with something to just not. I'm not showing up for work. Even if it was just like you show up at my door, I still have that like shame. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta go. I don't want to say shame, but either way, yeah. Looking back, I'm like, man. But yeah, so I worked an opening and closing shift. Not complaining at all, by the way. Let me just state that for the record, for the fact. I literally didn't mind that at all, but it just got to the point where that was kind of like a normal thing. So, excuse me, sorry, I'll pop my hands when I'm starting to talk about, I'm sure anybody's expert in body language can tell, literally. Uh, That's why I'm trying to get lost in the sauce. But when, excuse me, I was getting scheduled to work to like run a whole store because literally it was so insane. It was something that was just like pff, to me, and this is like something like small, but like I don't know. This is why I'm just like anyway. Whenever you go get like a pizza or something, it'll say like manager or like their person's name of the shift that's currently. I saw my name for the first time on there, and I was like, "Big baller!" Like I thought I was literally like, yeah. So that made me feel proud of myself in some type of way. Anyway, I took my job seriously to the point where I was like, I was praised, but that's nothing to really just bring into account or bring this into anyway. I was proud that I was doing my job, not only, but like I was showing up to do my job. I was trying. I was trying, and then I was trying to learn because I'm pretty sure I didn't have like any written, nothing. I definitely didn't have like any written thing like that. Besides like writing inventory at the end of the day, like examination, what nothing like to be like okay, like you're certified or I don't know as far as that goes. Any or every place is different, depends any or something like that. So this is like a franchise, so I know this is gonna be quite. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, um, I was like just to the point where basically though, I'm working. I'm like, I apologize too, cause like it's emotional for me. And I have to kind of remember too at the same time, cause like that, like as I'm going through this, this is helping me process and heal and get rid of, not get, well, kind of, yeah, but at the same time, yeah. Trying to remember before I start actually reading off on the paper because the paper is like, anyway, I'm not even, um, the time that I definitely started noticing that I was just not getting paid right, I was like, okay, the only person that I knew, and this is me just being a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like, I'm socially super awkward, so like putting two or two together, yeah, like you can already probably tell that just to be punny too. Looking back as I'm now saying that, like yeah, you can put two together for then me and now whatever. My body language definitely says it all. I'm trying to get better at it, but like I've never really been anxious, I guess, in terms of like sharing what's on my mind. If it's something that like is like deeply troubled, like that kind of stuff, it's hard for me to really describe. And not only I'm still processing it, so like I'm still trying to like like concisely convey like if you know you know I guess if you work there. But anyway, the only person I knew who to talk to was a friend that has a mom. Uh, the friend was somebody that I had gone to school with, high school, and same age demographic, age group. And I was like, I know this dude's mom is knowledgeable about, I think, like payroll stuff or something. Speaking of like not being paid right, so I was like, I'm gonna talk to her over the phone about this and just be like, hey girl, what you doing? And I can usually casually just, she's a second mom to me, so it was kind of like that situation. Casually called her up and she was like, yeah, that's called retroactive pay. I'm sorry, I just had to do that. I've never done that before. I did not even know what retroactive pay was. So there you go. Take you a bathroom break and just sit on that thought of how clueless that I was. Like, this stuff was not even taught in school. If it was, then I definitely am so ADD, then yeah, like, it's not ever. Those little posters, just to mention, literally, like the EEOC poster, Equal Employment Opportunity Center posters. So that stands for, anyway. If you see those, they're always like purposefully, yeah. So I never, I will admit it. I have no shame. It makes me feel embarrassed, but yeah, like that's just human reaction to it. And if I can put this out there to help someone feel better about it or learn from it or help, that makes me feel a lot better. So there we go. Anyway, woo! Um, just really appreciate the fact that like anybody that's watching this right now and entertaining this, like you're really cool, but also like thank you because like this is something that's really important that uh like it's not like I'm not going through it currently. It's just like I have gone through it. I've gone out of it thankfully. I didn't let it get to me. I almost did, but to the point where I want this I want to help I want this little experience to let it be like someone's inspo to like, you know, like make it through and stuff because like whatever this thesis, yeah, vindication, I don't know. I'm not feeling vindicated on anything, but um yeah, so let's just go ahead and just dive in. Why not? Uh, I basically once I discovered what retroactive pay was, that opened up a doorway for me in terms of I need to start documenting shit in every way, shape, or form. I didn't know how to do that. Like in terms of like what are you supposed to document? Okay, so anything. Why not? Like I didn't just walk around with my phone, camera, microphone, or something like all the time. I could not. Even doing that, like some like let's see, like I shaky over it. I could not. I'd totally be one of those people like back in the day. Just thinking about because I'm going back and remembering how this was, how I used to be. Anyway, reminiscent, but like the I don't want to say like video like this is like a trend or something. But like some people have the courage to like whip out their phones, and you've seen them like exposing like managers doing some really crappy stuff, and like you know like shameless, like not even shameless. You literally don't feel afraid even if they like just come take your phone. I would always feel just physical front confrontation, probably just from like personal account or reasons and stuff like that. I just try to avoid that. So like that's what sucks, and a lot of that really bit me in the ass in terms of like, excuse my French, but anyway, sure we got past that at this point. But anyway, just wholeheartedly full front here, you know, full frontal, but literally, and this is gonna be so ironic because I haven't even gotten to like halfway through anyway. I'm not trying to be like grandiose in terms. It's just like damn man. So yeah, no, literally, I would yeah like I would avoid that shit. I would be so I want to say afraid, but like yeah, I'd be afraid. I'm not afraid to admit that. If somebody's ever felt that way, then I hope that you can relate to that. You know that's so. You know, I'm not trying to like without further ado or anything. Documenting things for this was like okay, I'm just gonna look up like a this is like I guess like in my term like if this is like a vlogging situation because technically like talking to a camera and stuff whatever. I was like okay, Google www how to not even okay what how to write a complaint or something I guess or how whatever I did it was just something like as a millennial like I'm trying to remember how I went about it. It's just like I did whatever I thought was like, do what you can. Just not like do the smartest thing, but like, just don't be a dumbass and make sure like you stay vigilant. Keep your eyes open. I want to say like the world was painted for me way, way, way obviously. So I got my first taste of the real world not only just by working there at first, but through this experience beginning to unfold, um, helped me understand the true depth of the reality of just, I don't know, like the real world. I know how silly that sounds in general, but the reality of the situation when things go awry like this, and how serious it needs to, like, how serious it becomes, how serious you need to take it. It can take out of you. You got to take into account. Basically, you got to grow up. And I was going about this still like as like a 19-year-old teenager, and I'm like going through like my 20s, and this is like we're going about towards pre-COVID, so like everybody's not really caring about what's, like, no clue. So as this is being recorded, this is like after COVID, and everything. So we're just living our best lives, and I'm like, yeah, my timing is my timing. That's kind of how I live my life. But once we had established that I was aware, this was like the moment I had like gotten off the phone with her, and I'm like, okay, shit, retroactive pay and all that, how to document stuff. I would just get my phone out and just pull out phone notes and just be like, okay, at this time and this date, this happened. Literally, like, anything in terms, I didn't even know what a hostile work environment, like, that's what, along the way when I learned what retroactive pay was. Sorry, I'm very interpretive with my ends, but no. Coming along with that, you're going to learn so many other things along with it. So, yeah, literally learning what a hostile work environment was. Like, she explained these things to me, and I can't give this woman any more, like, this would probably be a whole separate another video, but anyway, yeah. Can't give her enough credit for just not even, yeah, guiding me, but, like, I tried to have her there as we were having this little deposition go down, because she's kind of like a witness in terms of seeing my mental health just gradually, like, I'm not saying, that's not to say, like, from life happening in the way and stuff like that, but, like, I have never been so, bad at trusting people ever in my life since this has happened. And we'll get to that at some point, too. A lot of reasons why, but that's for, anyway. And I'm not still trying to, like, placate or procrastinate. I don't know. I'm over trying to be a thesaurus, but anyway. Um, Around this time, it kind of began. I don't know why. I'm reading through it, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever in terms of a hostile work environment is to me. I'm gonna see how long this has been going, honestly. But anyway, I'll just make sure it's still recording. But like, um, yeah, I don't even know how long we're going. But anyway, I just wrote down anything that I guess wouldn't be in my terms, because I try my best to just Google and see, like, I'm gonna do it right now. Hostile work environment. Definition. Unwelcome or offensive behavior in the workplace which causes one or more employees to feel uncomfortable, scared, or intimidated in their place of employment. And that could be up for all kinds of interpretations. So, anyway, that's without further ado. If you're still watching this, thank you. I kind of just wrote this as like a letter, and then at that point on, once had all of that in my phone notes, it came out to, I don't even think I definitely don't have like all the pages for this. This is just some of them. I think it came out to 17 pages. 12, 13, 17. I was like, where's my camera? Anyway. Yeah, just so you can see that, but that's 17 pages. I used all of my poor grandmother's ink to print this. She has not to this day restocked the ink in her printer because I used so much of it to do. I was at her house because she kind of lived close to the work location, so I would be able to go there right after I got off work, log in my little daily entry of what happened in terms of a hostile work environment, go home, eat my dinner, rest, wake up, do the same thing. Can we just sit on that for a second, though? Like, I know I'm just kind of feel like I'm talking in a podcast situation, but, like... Yeah. Anyway, moment of silence for those that are going through that, too. Um... It's serious. Like, as much as it is all this stuff going on right now, too, it's just as important, too. It shouldn't be, like, this as tier-wise or anything, but, like, it should be talked about, too. So, here we go. Anyways. As I was just, like, making this into a letter, it really, it's to the point where it's like, okay, as my employer for over 2 years, you must understand how much it pains me to write this letter today. However, I feel that I can remain silent no longer. Our workplace inside the department of Papa John's has become extremely hostile, and I must ask that measures be taken to remedy the situation. And I believe that I wrote that in my own words, because this was like, you Google like a template on images of like a job application or resume, that kind of stuff, and like clearly it's gonna look, if you just copy them, obvious. So what better to have try to do something like that anyway, blah blah blah. I'm just kind of doing this as, like, it's like a, so this is what happened, story time anyway. And it goes on for 17 pages of, to the point where I'm probably going to end the video with this one. So we're going to end it, I guess I've started to do this thing where I'll end it with like a crazy story or something, but like just going through some of them. When I started to work there as a manager, the assistant general manager, so I didn't understand fully what that meant in terms of like, like status quo or something like that, so to speak. So like you're there to sweep up under the other person's, like if they fail to clock out, so to speak, at like 9:36 p.m. on a day, month and day specifically, but like the year it started, I just forgot to put there, but I know exactly what year it started because, anyway. It's so weird how this is all kind of timing out right now. I just looked at the time and it's 4:05. The date is 4/9. We just had our little eclipse. And then it was 2017, I think we had our eclipse or something, but yeah, I went to New York for the first time. Super, super random. Not going to go into that too much, but just to note that was a major pivotal moment of my life where like a lot was like happening, and I'm like, alright, it's time to really woohoo ante up and like take on the world, like take the bull by the horns, so to speak. And once I had finally gotten back, that's when it was time for me to start working as a manager. So I had this like, I'm ready to go mindset, like let's Mortal Kombat, like, anyway. So I'm just reading through some of it. I'm not gonna go through all of it, but it's I just want this to help somebody, and I'm gonna probably get on somebody's nerves saying that a lot, but anyway, probably this will be the last video of the day. I don't know if I'm going to finish whatever I started, definitely, but like, this is the only reason why this little YouTube account was made, just for this to be posted out there and stuff. And I just kept deleting it and whatnot because I just felt like I just couldn't, like, yeah, like, not only just the quality being bad, I know at the time probably, but also like I felt cringe just watching it because, like, looking back, yeah, I'll get lost in the thought of it. I'll get apprehensive just thinking about it. It just makes your stomach just turn into a damn pretzel, like, literally. And yeah, with that being said, um there was a day where the dude that I was, like, being trained by, basically, that promoted me, so basically the store manager, that was a thing at the store, and I'm sure a lot of people that worked at Papa John's can relate to that too. It's like, um, you would make yourself food and stuff like that. I was just lost in thought because, oh my god, there's so much of this. Um, Literally, shout out to Drab Majesty for helping me get through this. Literally, some places, like, I remember I worked at, like, this one location when I moved. I mentioned in the update I had moved, or, like, I mentioned, I believe, in this video anyway, earlier, and the first Papa John's, yeah, I had moved and started working at another. I transferred. That's what it was. I think that's what it was. So, we're gonna find some stuff out together, man. Um, I started working at another location. I believe I had transferred to. Yes, I'm pretty sure because now it's starting to literally, like, yeah, this is therapy for me right now. Um, I'm glad that I'm able to laugh instead of cry because that's how this whole instance would be for me to just go about talking about it for my approach. And anyway, uh, that place that I started working at that transferred to, it was like the same kind of, like, let's say hospitality, but same vibe. Okay, let's say that. Okay, just for the sake of brevity. All right, this is where I suck at that. Literally, like, you could take yourself. Excuse me. This place was really cool because I was just like, what the. That's awesome. Okay. This dude was really cool. Like, this dude was awesome. If you worked at this store and you know who this dude is, I love you. And I still keep in contact with people from this store because it was that was the only store I worked at. Was a really good experience, actually. But anyway, they offered me to be a manager there too, and I kind of, anyway, yeah, whole nother story. They offered me better pay there. That's where I was like, dang. I was about, anyway, that's basically it. But you could take yourself home a large pizza. I think you could put, I can't remember, like, any large specialty. So that means, like, a one topping is going to be a little bit cheaper than that. Specialty is, like, more expensive, basically. Anyway, I would make myself just, like, I'm plain. I like just cheese pizza. I don't care. Judge me. Whatever. We're just doing this to help people. Literally, I would make myself, like, the 6 cheese pizza and just go home and garlic cup. I love a garlic cup. I don't know why. Anyway, that stuff's addicting. I think they made it like that on purpose. Anyway, we're not gonna get into that. So, literally, this place was so cool. You could do it once a week. Dude was like, you can do it, but only once a week. And I was like, that's fine. Because at that time, I was 19. So, I had already worked a couple of years into that job. And I was, like, starting to take life into account as, like, into adulthood and all that. Like, anyway. Times are so much different in terms of, like, being a millennial. It's like our grandparents grew up way faster than we are. So, like, I'm really close to my grandmother. So, it's just funny, like, trying to describe this. She's like, come back when you've gone through Nom 2 times. Like, so anyway. No, besides that whole thing being brought up, that's the reason why this place I worked at, where this happened at, you can make yourself food. Sometimes it'd be okay if you didn't pay for it. this is where I have to sit here and stop for a second and be like, well, here's the thing. Sometimes, depending on who is working the shift, like, for instance, me, this is before I was promoted, so, like, yeah, I definitely, like, made this is, like, way after the fact, so, like, it doesn't matter, but yeah. Um, and plus I'm skinny, so it's not gonna take much for me to be full. I'm just laughing, I have to. Anyway, um, whoever was, I'm not trying to look at it in spite either, because sorry, it's so ironic, and in spite of, I'm even trying to be in spite of it, it's so funny, of so much of this stuff I've got, dude. This, this is not related. Anyway, got caught up in some paperwork. I'm not lost, I'm glad that I got to talk about that. There's something positive involved in this, at least. So there you go. Literally, this dude. That's where I got caught up because the dude that promoted me and was the store is, I don't know if he still works there now. So I'm not speaking past tense. At the time, he's a store manager. I'm just tired, so like my words are kind of. And I slept in today. I already mentioned that at some point, I think in another video, sorry. I'm not the best at this. He had, okay, yeah, places a personal multiple. I was like, okay, it's fine if you, like, if it's under my watch, I don't care. This is like, in another world. But anyway, with that being said, before we get into that, let me stop there for a second, because this is, yeah. This is the last video, but like meat and potato wise, it depends on who's working the shift at this in the situation. Like if you're seeming like you're able-bodied or something, or if you seem like you're coming from a troubled family, and that's literally like, it's almost like literally if you seem like you're coming from like a poor, yeah, like you feel like you're coming from like literally out of a crack out of a sidewalk, then like the manager would just look at you and just go, sorry, I'll watch a lot of Moist Critical, so that's the way I can only describe it, but literally, without it, I'm not trying to offend anybody, so anyway, uh, me, for instance, because I would be like, hey, and then this dude that I'm referencing that is going to be involved a lot, basically, and I just don't want to say his name because it triggers me. We'll just call him the store manager. Anyway, shoulder cramp. He, places multiple, like, just pizzas. It's like, like, I can't remember if I had to make them or not, but still, though, it's like, I can't remember why, like, I wasn't writing this, like, mad as hell or anything. I was just like, alright, whatever. Like, it is what it is, and it's like, he didn't let me know because, at this point, during this month that I'm looking at, I had been a manager for that 2 months I wasn't getting paid right, so we got, like, a month into it after that was kind of called out, and I started doing this. ADD for the win. So anyway, shout out to therapy, literally. I was just noticing there was like a paradigm shift. Like there was a shift. Sorry, I got sleepy again in mind, but there was a change in just how I was being treated, and I didn't. This is where I'm like, okay, as a girl and whatever, I don't know. Not even, anyway. We're in 2024. Yeah, I'm getting tired, but like, this shit's rough. I'm sorry. um, like as a pretty chick, like, yeah, whatever I was gonna say, woo. I'm trying to remember now, honestly. You can hear it in my voice probably. Um, I don't mind from what background that I came from. That's what I was saying. But anyway, yeah, as a pretty chick, I don't mind admitting that. But also, I don't want to assume just because of what position I'm working that does not make me any better or any you make you any less or me any better. Any of that shit, you know. I'm not gonna take anything to my advantage either. You know, like I'm broke because I gotta pay whatever. So all of that, like, let's just say I'm trying to remember, like, okay, the multiple pizza order and fails to inform me on my closing shift. So if I wrote that down, I'm like, probably because I had to either make it and, like, dude had, like, bye, like, sorry, like, straight, like, that's literally just beeline out of there. Some people would do that, they would not care, and I guess that would, if you want to call that hostile work environment, go for it. But anyway, so, sorry. Literally, if that's the case, there's no store cameras either in this store. I forgot to mention that, but, like, that needed to be mentioned at all, but it's gonna be needed at some point to be mentioned. So anyway, unfortunately, um, that I don't know how that happened. I can't remember if it was like me doing the inventory and I was like, why the fuck are we missing like this many or something like that? And I was like, oh, okay, so dude just didn't tell me. Okay, so I'll just write that down then. So I just started to notice there was a noticeable they were starting to become like, yeah, a noticeable, like, oh my god, like, I don't care, but like, really? And I know, like, most every workplace is like this, so that's where it's like a toxic work environment, is where I had to come to find that out. As what, I don't remember how old I was at this time, 23, 24, something like that. So, anyway, yeah, I forgot to include in the update, but like, I was signed by a modeling agency after I left this place. So, before we end this video with uh, that little sad note, yeah, I literally just, I guess doing me so much good right now just to talk about this, and I forgot that literally that was where it started for me in terms of like my life beginning after this ended. And I started working in Georgia and doing modeling and background acting work. So, anyway, I was signed by a modeling agency at 25 years old after I had left this. So, anyway, just to note, becoming into like I don't care, dude. I'm socially awkward. I never really. I got prom queen somehow. Okay, sorry, but I got prom queen. I don't know how I got prom queen. I don't care. I literally, like, I remember just sitting there and like, dude, some people probably have already seen my wild tattoo, but anyway, yeah, I got this at 15, and this it's a good game. It used to be anyway. We're not getting that. I didn't even believe that I got prom queen. So anyway, yeah, I was like, "You're joking," and went back to whatever I was talking about, and they're like, "No, that had to be like drug away." So like, yeah, I don't care. Just to basically say, yeah, like at that time, I don't care even if my position. I was just wanting to get myself up there, like climb up that ladder. Anyway, so yeah. Uh, Thank you for watching this. I'm really sorry that this taken me so long to just get this out. In terms of like speaking in terms, literally speaking terms, but also like detail wise, I guess. I don't know. It's hard for that to I guess anybody's kind of, but for the most part, yeah. I know my lips still be looking crusty. I have not touched my lips up. I don't care. I still don't care. I'm about to take my makeup off because I'm not doing it anymore. I'm tired. But, this is where I was like, I wanted to mention this, but, like, yeah, I mean, might as well. It's like, um, Well, it's gonna be like a little bit to decipher for me because now that we've kind of like started this little like, all right, let's sit down, children, story time or something. I don't know. Now I can kind of go about this as I like go off camera and start chilling and playing stuff and be like, okay, I'm gonna start talking about this, and it helps me. So this is kind of crash course in it, literally. Yeah, this is gonna have to be in a different video for sure. But like, by all means, yeah, I'm not no YouTuber. I don't care about grammar at this moment, and like, yeah, it's just those two things right there. I forgot that, yeah, like I was anyway. Prom queen thing was funny, but like other than that, I asked several people to go with me to prom too. That was silly, but anyway, I was like, that was like, it's so funny to look back anyway. Just end that with that note. I had to have a guy go with me, or else like it was some Disney situation. I'm like, oh, so fun. I third wheeled. I went. I didn't. I if I had not gone, like that's what's funny. I was like, man, you know what? If I don't go to this prom, I've never been to prom before. Go junior prom. Nobody asked me. Never been asked to prom either. And I asked people to go to anyway. So yeah, um, it took a lot of like self realization, affirmation, yeah, like all that kind of stuff to get to where we are right now. And um, yeah, one of the things on here, it's like the hostile working environment. Just to add though, like there was like some people that work at um, Papa John's stores though, like the delivery drivers will like do whatever they want and stuff, and then you got some delivery drivers that kind of like do their job and stuff. And this is like before I started. This is speaking in like a POV in terms of like before I was a manager, so I'm not like trying to condescend or anything like that. Like there was a dude that got hammered in the head or something like that over here that I think also worked for or he was a pizza driver, pizza delivery driver, and some dude like you can only carry like $20 on you because yeah, that happens. So anyway, shout out to you guys. But one of the big no-nos is like you don't skip deliveries. You take your delivery or something like that. So as soon as I say that, I can already feel some people like, yep, yep, yep. You don't do that. And sure as heck, trying to be a little bit better with my words. Because anyway, I don't know how many people will watch this, but literally, that happened a lot where I worked. And there were multiple managers present besides just me. But I just wanted it to just be known. Like, it's just, like, if I'm the one that can do something about it, I can. If I did, I was like, hey, don't do that. Don't stop skipping deliveries. Then what more can you do? You can just write them up, I guess, but I don't know. I think it's the store managers. I think only the store manager can do that. But anyway, yeah. In terms of, like, a write-up and stuff, yeah. We're done with that. But, like, there was a instance where I was like, do I need to do that? Because this person that's a delivery driver, that happened to be a delivery driver, was under the influence, driving. This is at a different store. Just to add, this is way later on. This is just in the next episode. But anyway, no, I guess I watched too much anime. But literally, this dude was under the influence heavily, and I noticed right away too, because I was opening that day, and that dude was just staring. I noticed like this the back of his head, and he was just staring at like. Some people know like the washing area in the back, and it's like a little 3-compartment sink, and you got all these little Lexans. He was just staring at those, and like you're supposed to start getting those and prepping, opening shift stuff. He was just like checked out, cooked. Especially when his eyes met mine, and I was like, bro is gone. So I was the only person at that, like, it makes my gut just wrench, and I'm like holding back, not even trying. I want to cry because I was the only person there that had any type of manager power, duty, duty. Literally, no, seriously, yeah. That's a whole nother separate video that I would love to share that with you guys. And, with my hair being on, I had to put in, like, dry shampoo because I know my hair looks, I don't care. But, I just don't want to look too much like Crypt Keeper, either way. Um, there was a day where, like, dude shows up late for work. Like, people just start taking their job seriously, and this is just kind of skimming through of, like, daily basis. Like, instead of making a YouTube video right now, I'm working, and then it's like, okay, it's 4:28 right now, and yeah, earlier I said what time it was. I don't. Anyway, uh, it's like dude shows up at like 4:45 or something. Excuse me, but yeah, just shows up late for the shift and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck, like. Would have been nice to have like you call or something like that. Like none of that. No, none of that. And that's where I say because it's like at that time I was like before I was promoted too. This is going back. Like let's rewind. So anyway, still figuring out how a job works. So when you are late, you call and let them know. Even if you're going to be probably 2 to 5 minutes late, or even just 1 minute late. So, with that being said, some people really do take that into account, and so much to account where they take it very personally, aka this store. Not to, like, seem, I'm like trying to throw shade, because that's how it feels. That's where I'm just sitting here, like, I want to make this video and end it on that, because that's not how it should feel. That's all it is. That's not how it should feel. And, yeah, like, to the point where, like, intentional, hostile. And there's people that have gone through worse than me, and I'm so sorry. I'm really, just intentional to where you're like sink or swim. And that meant for me at the time sink or swim in terms of like you're gonna have to literally figure out how to just not even like get someone not food poisoning, like just making sure this is still recording. Okay. Literally. Someone not getting food poisoning just under your watch because like other people are making food too, so you want to like quality check literally everything if it's like but still, even if you're making it, you just want to make sure. But like for the most part, it's like yeah, sink or swim, but also figure out how to be a manager, but you're assistant general manager, so whatever that means for other stores, it probably entails for different types of like what you have to do for your job. For what I had to do, I didn't have to do the scheduling. I know that. I didn't have to worry about payroll, but just about like I think they tried to put me on scheduling or something. They tried and I was like yeah, literally. And but no. It's just like it's just like it's unsurfacing like yeah, subconsciously, literally repressed. I don't know, but anyway, for what I did, yeah, I had to figure out like not just how to like I knew how to call people into work. I was like, hey, you gotta like we need you stuff whatever. It was to the point where you like, hey, dude, like I don't have anybody scheduled for today. I know you work tomorrow and you've already worked yesterday, but like, can you please just come in for like 2 hours? So, yeah. Um, just a big gradual descent after I basically was like, hey, I'm not getting paid right. And I was like, what's retroactive pay? What is that? What is that about? Oh, so that means I'm owed, I think it was almost $300 for the 2 month time period. I was supposed to be paid at that time. I was promoted to $9 an hour. This is back in the day. So, anyway, that math and everything, I did it. I sat there. My friend's mom was like, you do this. I was like, how do I figure out? Literally, I was asking the questions. So, like, that's where I'm just saying, like, don't be afraid to just, don't be shameless about it. Don't feel ashamed about it. Anyway, literally. So, yeah, I had figured out that they had, Papa John's owed me $300. And I was paying rent at the time, living with my mom after my stepfather had passed away. And I'd lost my beloved family pet, but anyway, that was another story. But life wasn't really so dandy at the time, and I was just like, can I just make it by, please? I just want to get through my day. I don't mind the bullshit. Like, that's, anyway. No, I don't want to say I put up with it. I feel like that's gonna probably, anyway, it doesn't matter, but good or bad, as long as it's talked about. I put up with it not because like it was like I had to. That was when I was like, okay, I'm going to. My friend's mother was like, you need to go to the Equal Employment Opportunity Center about this. So, just big shout out to her. I guess I'm not figuring out where to end this at, but like that's where it's starting to just go to. But she's like, you need to go to Equal Employment. Is a lot of people call it EEOC. Go to that place, Equal Employment Opportunity Center. Make a claim, like quote unquote claim. That's what it's called. And you just tell them like basically what I'm. This whole video just about anyway. So, and a lot of people just don't know that. That's the real sad part. That's like the real sad part, and that's where this is like just being made in general. So anyway, yeah, those posters in the back and stuff. They're like all those little fast food places. You probably see like even as a customer, you're like you can barely see it. And they put it back there for a reason. They don't care. Some places probably do, and I'm not saying they don't. But yeah, it's bad. But she was basically telling me that if I did this, like, think of how many people this could help. Think of how many people that, just going through the same thing, but like like this was when the Me Too stuff was starting to happen too. But anyway, it was like, yeah, like I don't mind being that person. It's just another day for me, so it's whatever. And with that being said, literally, uh, with her. I don't want to say like I'm quoting her and talking about like inspirational stuff, but she's a very inspirational person to talk to and helped guide me through that. It was like that was one of the things she said over the phone. It's like you're gonna be helping so many people. Just think like if you don't hold it, like don't be afraid or something, like just you've got this. You're gonna be okay. Like you've got this, but like you think of how many people that you're helping at the same time that are trying to speak up about it, or just a lot of things. It's insane. Like that's just when my brain's like, all right, time to work. So with that being said, take care. I don't know where else to. But yeah, see ya.